Well, good morning everybody. I'll show you where we parked for the night, and it was a lovely little spot just there. Brought the dogs out for a little walk this morning. We've got roughly about an hour and a half drive-ish to get to Achmelvik Beach, which is this one, and that's the first stop off today. Look at that. How scary Mary again. We've just had a dilemma. Come here, we need an opinion piece. So outside the door, as we arrived last night, we spotted a little like plastic bag with dog shite in it.
But it looked very much like ours.
It wasn't the same as ours. You can tell where it's ours because normally the amount of dog shit in it is quite considerable. But Danny decided that we have to pick it up. It's our responsibility because we don't want to look like we're littering, even though we're not. And for me, I was like, well, not like, it's not ours. Like, I get rubbish, I don't mind rubbish, but it's dog shit. They might have rubbed the like bag on the shite, you know.
I looked in it and it looked, I don't think it was actually dog shit. It looks like some sand, as if it's got like a, and I actually looked at it.
Awful.
But I've picked it up anyways. Well, if we want to contribute and...
No, we do contribute though, just not normally with dog cat. Just pick your dog cat up. Like if you're going to litter, don't litter either, but don't
I'll pick it up for you.
Don't be just leaving cack about. That's manky, that. Especially in a bag, like if you pick it up, why bother? You might as well have left it. Like at least outside of a plastic bag, there's a chance of rain or whatever might wash it away. In a bag, it's not going to.
Maybe they've done what we sometimes do. If there's no bins, they leave it outside and then you pick it up as you leave again. Maybe they've done that.
Well, I don't know, but you're a scumbag, whoever you are. The locations that we visit in this video are all parts of the NC 500 Improved Travel Guide. The guide covers all of your must-sees, things to do, food and drink, park-ups, suggested pit stops, and even narrow road warnings so you don't get caught out when you hit the single-track sections. You can save 10% off the NC 500 Improved Travel Guide by using the code MADVENTURE, and if you do have more than 7 days to visit this area, I'd highly suggest coupling your NC 500 trip with the Ultimate Scottish Road Trip Travel Guide. That way you get to do the iconic NC 500 but also Scotland's best and most scenic road trip. Both of these guides are available in a dual pack, and the first 50 people to use the code DREAMROADTRIP will save an additional 20% off.
Are you loving your scenery, babe?
It's beautiful. There's just nowhere else like it. Sort of this section, it just looks so alien, the landscape. One thing I will say though, that I was just saying to Danny, is that certain views will like look better on a photo or in a video than what they actually are. And Carliscoo Bridge is one of them. So the view off into the valley and stuff in the distance is unbelievable, but the bridge on the photos and even in the photo in our travel guide looks proper cool. So you can see it sort of sneaking around with all this in the background. But when you're driving on it, it's just a bridge. So yes, it's very beautiful. I mean, look at that for instance. But sometimes in videos or in photographs, the pictures are better than what it looks to your eye, especially if it's been done on drone. So just food for thought. We continued the road south and eventually made our way to Achmelvik Beach, where we parked up and got to work making some lunch in our nashy new air fryer.
First time using it, let's have a look.
Look at them little boshkas.
And it's contained all the mess.
They're lovely, them.
And you can do a test run.
That, if it's cooked. Presumably that means you never need to wash it.
What, inside here?
No, not really. Can anyone give us any top tips if they've got air fryers like this? What is the best things to put in? How do you get nice crispy chicken? So on and so forth. We're new to this.
I wonder whether we would eventually need a bigger one, do you think, or not?
No, I think for the two of us it seems alright, doesn't it?
Yeah,
and it's quick. You could presumably just mark more in, but they look spot on, them.
Look how much...
girthy little sausages them, be aren't they?
You're all one.
Maybe they look nice. Chop one up. We are there. Perfection. Yeah, basically perfection. So yes, if you've got any tips, recipes, tricks, put them in the comments below for us. We've actually just bumped into someone who popped and said hello, who's here for, because they bought our Ultimate Scottish, no, they bought the NC500 guide.
They'll be going off track if they bought the Ultimate.
So it's nice to see, if you see us and you're away, come and say hello.
Come and say hello when he's having a rudgy on the beach. That might cheer him up.
It's the dogs, man, that deem me eating. Like, Rufus is no bother, the other two are just right little shit. So when you're trying to like do video or anything else, it's an absolute pain in the arse. All full up for the time being.
From the
3 sausages and half a block of cheese, pretty much. But we're just walking our way. It's only a short hop from the little car park to the beach. And if you haven't seen Achmelvik Beach before, prepare to have your socks blown clean off. And I mean, you can just tell off the path. You can tell just off that how white the sand is. So
I've got to give it to you though. It is the whitest of sands so far.
I think Balnakeil was the experience of Balnakeil. It's so big and it was such a nice walk. But just in terms of like an impactful beach where you're sitting here and Jesus, that's amazing. This is probably the most that way because of the sand
and you would be
and
like,
the water, like the colour of the water. I know. So this is Achmelvik Beach. And that's what I'm talking about. Just look at the colour of that. Should we head up over the other one first?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this little beer here, then there's another one further around the corner, and then you've got Hermit's Castle, which we are going to have a little walk to, so we'll show you that as well. There is some pretty ominous clouds coming over our heads though, so I don't know how that's going to end up. I don't know if she's made a bit of a bad omen by putting a waterproof on.
No, I'm just being prepared. Unlike the rest of this trip. It does actually.
I know, it looks sketchy that. There's not many things Scotland loves more than just completely changing its weather in a matter of minutes. But that looks pretty dark and sketchy. If you've never visited this part of Scotland before, I'd highly recommend it. The whole area is absolutely gorgeous. In my opinion, the beaches here are rivaled only by the Isle of Harris, and the scenery that litters this whole northwest region is completely unforgettable. It's a little bit of a tedious drive. The single track can be a bit of a nightmare at times due to its blind corners, but it is worth every second of the stress. And to top it off, if you're the type of person who stays at campsites, there's a couple located right on this incredible beach. This is in April, man. Look at the colour of the water and the sand. It's April. Imagine this in the summer. Obviously it'll be a bit busier and there might be midges as well, but look at it. Insane here. This is like the perfect spot if you want to come and send a video to your pals and be like, oh, guess where I am. Because like with the beaches, you're not guessing Scotland, are you? Look at it, man. Whether you can see it or not on the video, and there's no way you see it unless you've been to it before. Not that quickly anyway, because it blends in very well. Strangely, it's busy here, like at the castle thing of all places. There's about 4 or 5 other people. I was wanting to go and get a photo, but I don't know if I want to now. There's too many people kicking about. Toromets Castle. It's like a little shelter that someone built out of basically like concrete stuff. Actually, we're watching what we're eating, or trying to eat. So Danny decided we need to go into a pie shop in Lochimber, which in all fairness is very famous for its pies. However, I'm trying to eat decently.
I know.
And yeah, being a bad influence.
Have a try.
Getting a, what is it, black haggis, meat and tatties pie.
Yeah.
It looks lush though.
Have a try, baby. You know, look at that.
Look at the size of that. Huh. Huh.
It's like a dinner and a pie. Isn't it?
Nice, oh.
Really nice.
That pie was literally too hot. I'm sick of people heating things up to boiling point. There's no need. If it's a pie and it can be eaten cold, when you warm it up, just the clue's in the name. Do you want it warmed up? No, I'd rather it on fire, please. You know what I mean? Why? Like warm things up, just warm them.
So I'd rather mine piping hot cooled down.
Why though? I'd rather it with that. That's such a stupid statement. I'd rather it piping hot and then let it cool down. So why not just have it at that cool down temperature?
Because then you've got to kill all the bacteria in it, don't you?
They've cooked it. If you can eat, that's what I'm saying, if you can eat it cold, then why would you be bothered about having it too hot when you warm it back up again? It makes no sense. Bloody ridiculous.
We've got a squeak on this band's moving in as well.
You need to have a sprinkling.
We do need a sprinkler.
We've been talking, because you see like the longer camper vans and other stuff, and as you know, we've been in turmoil with trying to figure out what the hell camper van we're going to get. Now we're looking for a little bit of advice. The advice is more based on the length of the van. Now in terms of layouts, whatever you think is right isn't, it's wrong. Because all of layout stuff is just subjective. It's like, how do you live? Like where you put your settee in your house might be different to where I put mine in the house. Neither of us are right, neither of us are wrong. We're both like each to their own kind of thing. Whereas camper vans, people seem to think, oh, you need to have this there, you need to have that there, and if you haven't got that there, then it's not a real camper van. Oh, I wouldn't go for that layout. Oh, it doesn't work for me, that. You know what I mean? So, I didn't care about layouts, I didn't care what you think. What we want is a nice big seating area at the back. I didn't want a fixed bed. For us, a fixed bed is a massive waste of space. The Deemy had in, I didn't need one. I didn't want a little horrible bench seat area at the front either, because that's like sitting on a bloody church pew or whatever it's called. You're just sitting up like that, like, oh, this is comfortable. I love sitting down and relaxing on a neat, and I didn't want to have to sit in my driver's seat. I've sat in it all day, I'm not sitting in it on a neat and all. So, now that we've got that out of the way, what sort of suggestions have you got? So we met Scott and Colin last time we done the NC500 actually, and we got in their little chariot, and that thing was luxurious, wasn't it? After being in this bag of hammers, getting into like a proper motorhome, delightful.
Was
such
that
a treat.
7 metres or was it 6 something?
I think theirs was nigh on 7, roughly. I can't remember. Scott, if you're watching, put it in the comments what length your van is. But the issue that we've got is it's trying to find that sweet spot. Like 6 metres is perfect for driving. It's just a car, really. It's not long. It's not no major. Long wheelbase, again, not that much different really. What is it? It's about 7, if that. So again, easy enough to drive, big square corners. Motorhomes become wider, which is a massive benefit inside, and they're a much nicer place to be, but they can only be a bit more tedious to drive. So has anyone got any advice, or just any sort of suggestions, things that might point us in a direction that at least we can do a bit of research on, as to what length you think is the sweet spot, and whether you would go with like a sort of coach built motorhome or that kind of thing, or should we look potentially back at a custom made long wheelbase van as an example instead. We're all over the place with it. It's not happening at the minute. It's something that may happen in the next year, may not happen in the next year, might happen in the next 3 months, it could happen in the next 5 years, might never happen at all. So don't be asking about all of that. Just give us some advice, some tips, or some things that maybe you've experienced. Did you start with a T6 and now you've got a massive motorhome? Did you start with a big motorhome and you've gradually got down to a smaller size van? Put your little stuff in the comments. We'll have a siphon through and hopefully it can help us. Actually, as well, while I'm on, if any of yous own a motorhome hire company or know anyone that does, put them in touch, because we've got a fantastic idea for a video. So that's also a suggestion. We'd been driving for a couple of hours and I was getting a little bit tired, if I'm honest, and we went to a place what Danny wanted to go to. It was another beach, and to be fair, for 2 days in a row all we'd done was beaches, and we'd seen the two best in the entirety of mainland Scotland. So we had a little walk, watched a few absolute lunatics swimming in a freezing cold sea, and swiftly got back to the van. Well, we went down to the beach, but in all fairness, I'm like beached out a little bit. Like, I think that's the second day off the bounce now that we've just done beaches. And I don't mind, like, I like beaches, I like them too, but like once you say, especially them two, once you've been to them, like any of the others are just, it's the beach, a bit sand and water.
Chris doesn't like it, very little fruit or veg.
I'm not a health, I don't know if you can tell, but I am a picture of health, so it'll probably surprise most of you, but I'm not a huge fan of healthy stuff. I never liked any fruit or any veg as a kid, and I'm just starting to get into some veg.
You used to live on super noodles, didn't you?
I was a super noodle baby. But I like the taste of bananas now. I make like a banana like pancake, protein pancake, and they're so nice. It's the texture, man.
Oh,
so I said, when you're having that banana, give us a try of it. I want to see if I can like it. So, and she wanted to get on video. Look at that
he'll
bit
go
though,
like
man.
this, he'll go, nah. Watch him. Look, red banana.
What's that about? It doesn't know what it was.
That's not that bad.
No, it doesn't know what it wants to be.
What do you mean?
Why is the texture like that?
The banana.
It's like pure slime and firmness at the same time. I don't get it. That's too much for me.
No wonder.
No wonder me ma is buzzing that I moved out. Oh my god. That doesn't even taste like banana. That's like grass. Why does it taste of grass?
I know what you mean.
But why?
But
it's meant to be a banana. They're not even in the grass, they're on trays.
It's not quite ripe, that's all.
Oh, that was awful, that thing.
What I have over the top is you when it eats a banana.
No. I need to know what's going on. Like, I cannot have textures that just didn't know what they want to be one thing or the other. You cannot just do a bit of both. It's the same with apples. Love the taste of apples. Kind of like it's rock hard 1 minute and then it just dissolves all over your mouth and then leaves this fibery stuff. Oranges leaves basically a spider's web all over the place. What's that about? Why has it got that white web coating all over it?
Just an orange bit.
But I don't know. That's the same. You bite in, it's like, oh, it's a bit chewy. Then there's juice and you're like, oh, the juice is nice, and then you're left. Awful, man. You're wrong. You're wronging. Minging. So it turns out I still didn't like bananas.
We haven't made that progress yet, have we?
No. I try though.
You want to like them.
I really want to like them. I just cannot, man.
Saying that though, it's like
I'm a big lad now. I try food. I never even used to try it. I'd be like, nah, didn't like it, and I'd never actually tried it before.
To be fair, I'm like that with fish. I like cod and prawns, but anything other than that, like cockles and
So
fishy bits, I don't like them.
Where we're going is an hour away. It's past Ullapool, and then as the road sort of turns back on itself, it's just on the side. Lush park, or big park, or plenty of space, lovely view down the valley, and if you're a bit of an aeroplane nerd, if you get lucky, there's fighter jets and that fly up that valley as well. Yeah. There was a couple of F-15s that flew down that way. There must be like an American military base or something as well, or where they come and do exercise and stuff here. So, oh, and actually, while I'm also on, I want to do the Mach Loop in Wales, which is where the jets fly down the valley.
About the other day.
If anyone's been up on the mountains where they do it, again, and I'm asking for a lot in this video, but it's free, you're not paying to watch this, so do your bit. Pop it in the comments and let us know if you've got any links to anything or anything that can help us out. Or if you're a little freak like me and you want to go and see them and you'll meet us and show us, then even better. Well, then let's get a shuffle on. We continued the road south where we arrived at another one of our favourite park ups up on Windy Hill, overlooking the valley towards Ullapool. We have arrived! Finally! Feels like we've been driving for about 6 months. Isn't anyone else here yet either? We're not even that early actually. It's 5 o'clock. But this view down this valley, man, it's redonkulous, isn't it? It's the only word for it. Look at that. I'll show you on this camera. Are you showing them on this camera? My head in the way. Pass the camera, I'll show them. I'll show you, because Danny can't. Look at that, man. She's got it on the wrong one, that's why.
What was it?
You had it on 2.
I know, it's because it's too zoomed in on the other one.
I'll just put on 1. This is the A832. And it's just past Ullapool, not far, about 20 minutes out of Ullapool.
I think it's on the overnight parking on the map, isn't it?
I've got it on the...
They all be quiet.
This is what we've got to put with every time we stop. Just twists. I forgot my gaffer tape as well to keep them quiet, yeah. If only, probably Matt Noise through that.
He would.
But this view is absolutely stunning. Bloody beautiful. We stayed here last time, and like I say, it is actually on the NC 500 guide. Well done. Oh. Well done for remembering that.
I know that now.
Did you? She does help sometimes. Normally she's just a hindrance, isn't you?
A little bit.
Liability sometimes. But it's a beautiful view, and like I said, the aeroplanes and that fly up this valley. That would be cool. You'd shit your pants a bit, wouldn't you? To be fair, if they come tearing down there and shot up above your noggin. But I think it's pretty much tea time. I'm tired as well. You can sod off. I've drove.
It's tiring being a passenger, babe.
It is actually. Nah, I do get it does drain you being a passenger.
I think it does.
Because it's just it is just as stressful, but you've got neither of the control either. Especially on the roads that we've been on today. So some of them are. It's probably the worst section of roads along here.
This might be a windy night.
That is the downside. So all of the places we've been to today are a little bit of a pain to get to.
It's single track roads, although they're fine. It's just a bit wild.
Achmelvig is. I've put it in the guide as well, where I'm saying like you can skip it. So I have covered all of that in the book, just so you're aware. Which ones are kind of optional and which ones are not, because if you just want to avoid all that and just head down, the road, actually the main road is fine. It's like a normal road that you'd be used to at home, but the ones that take you to Achmelvig, Clachtoll, it's a bit of a nightmare. Not if you're going the way we did, you haven't got it for as long, but if you're going through Clachtoll way, that's long gone. But the views and that, even on that road, not that you can look at them until you stop, but they're beautiful as well. Where we stopped and had some food on the picnic table before.
I think it's just in the peak season.
Peak season be chaos.
It's the chaos because the build up of traffic behind you or in front of you.
Because what actually happens, what causes it is, like if it's just 2 cars, one coming, it's easy enough because they're not like that narrow, like they're narrow. But what'll happen is like you'll pull over, one car will come through, and then you start pulling off, and then another car flies through. And then you've got 2 cars behind you, and now that you'll not fit in, all these will not fit in the passing place, and then so it can be a little bit tedious at times. But like I say, you can just skip that bit, but it is the nicest or second. It's top. It's joint top beach on the NC 500. Like most impactful beach, I would say, is the Achmelvig. It's absolutely beautiful.
There is a lovely one on Clachtoll, like up that way.
Clachtoll's lush and all, but that's the thing. Again, it's just another
windy road.
It's in the same section.
I would say.
But then so's Mallaig and Moraa. Like that's horrible driving along there as well, and they've got the lush beaches as well.
But out of all of that, but then again, there was that lovely waterfall.
Actually, there's a recommendation. So if you're not that keen on this, and you would rather do less of the hard work drive, and obviously the Ultimate Scottish Road Trip, if you haven't already read up about it or got it. There isn't any single track roads really at all, other than depending on which bits you want to do on Skye. But if you want the beaches, they're not on the scale of the ones here, but the ones in Mallaig and Moraa are unbelievable, beautiful little white sand coves. In all fairness, it's some of my favourite bits there because you do get a little private section of beach. There's some gorgeous campsites there as well, so you can have a little walk out on a night time. And the driving, you've got a little section where there's some single track roads, but now that's hard to drive on. Hello. So that could be a recommendation for you, is do that section. What we got for tea?
Mixed pakora.
We got this from somewhere.
It's supposed to be healthy, but
that's basically healthy, isn't it? No. Look, there's leaves on the logo, so it must be. And looks like it's made out of natural ingredients. It's a bright red, is a naturally occurring colour in the wild. What else did we get though? We got other stuff.
Yeah, you picked it up. Yeah, what was it? Chicken wings or something.
Hey, we're not putting them in as well?
Yeah, but I'll put this in first.
Oh, I was going to see it. These noisy little rodents are just chilling now. Poor Rufus, the best one on the floor. I'm not biased. I am a bit. But surely, it's not wrong to have a favourite dog. I don't know if it's even wrong to have a favourite kid. I've got favourite kids for different things. But same with the dogs. He's my favourite, and your son, and your boy, and your good boy. You're noisy as out all the time. Does now put that noise, and he's nigh on the same. He sounds like a boiling kettle, didn't you, little boy? What's it like being annoyed? Couldn't care less. He's having a moment there.
He's having a cuddle. Yeah.
Oh, you want to be back in there now, didn't you, you little punk?
Are you enjoying the views and the cold?
It's freezing, man. She's got the door open. It's like Hurricane Alley up there. It weren't half windy last night. I can't say for certain because I'm not a scientist, but I reckon 150 to 200 mile an hour winds we were being hit by at the end of this valley last night. I think I've had 18.5 seconds sleep, I think. I'm knackered. I'm perplexed as to why I decided it was a good idea to stay here. Look at, well, that's why. Look at it though. Can't even bother to take photos standing up. I am tired though. Did you sleep well? You didn't, did you?
No.
The whole van was just getting absolutely bland all over the place.
I slept awake last night.
I slept awake. I slept with my eyes open last night. But according to BBC Weather, it's only like 17 mile an hour, but I think they missed the zero off the end because it was easy 150. It was ridiculous. It was blind, the van. I mean, I know the van is slightly not particularly aerodynamic, but still.
At least it's drying with towels, babe.
Babe, I'm withering away. It's frozen, man.
You need to let the dogs out. You take the dogs for a walk for a change.
You need to find your phone.
I do.
I dropped our phone down the side of the bed and I think it's went into where the deck chairs are in the back. Into the abyss. You'll never find that, it's gone. Your phone must now. We'd originally decided to head further south because the worst of the weather was up in the northwest corner, but then as we drove south, the worse the weather got. The wind picked up, the rain got so heavy that the wipers couldn't keep up with it, and on top of that, where we were heading to, the forecast was even worse. So instead, we drove inland and then decided just to go home. And it took us like 10 hours to get home. And in all fairness, although we went all the way to the northwest corner and back in 4 days, which 2 of them days were travelling, so technically we only had 2 days there, I would do it again. I'd do it again tomorrow. Like, I literally woke up thinking I was going to Pennines and then ended up basically in Inverness. So that's what a road trip's meant to be like. But if you made it this far in the video, I've got one discount code available. The discount code is The End. If you put that in, it's 50% off anything on the store, but there's only one available, so you better be quick.